Welcome to our Tech Talk, fifth episode. I'm joined by Tilina as well.
Hello.
So Tilina, another news today. I think we spoke about password security and all that. I think it's a high time we talk about this. If you have a Yahoo email account, I think you better change your password and enable two-factor.
You might be late already.
Everyone is late to the game, even Yahoo itself, because they were hacked in 2014 and only now they are releasing this information out saying more than 500 million users are affected. So you better, I don't know whether it's a good idea or not, but you better change your password. And I think on a previous episode we spoke about having two-factor authentication and all that. Yahoo do support this. So if you can pause the show, go and run and change your password and make sure it's a complex password, right? You use a Yahoo account, by the way?
Not anymore. Long time back I had one.
Yeah.
After Gmail, I think most of the techie people switched to Gmail. Now nobody signs up for it.
Yeah.
Mostly Gmail has captured the email market.
So that's the news. Today we're gonna talk about a little bit of a different topic. A lot of people have questions about when you're buying a computer, what should I buy? Should I buy a new one? And when you go now, it's all confusing, right? Till back in the day, it was so simple. You get the Pentium 1, you get the Pentium 2, you get the Pentium 3, and you get the Pentium 4. But after the Pentium 4, that Intel change how you name their processors, because that Pentium 4 they hit their like what we call the barrier line of process speed, because we measure the speed of a processor in megahertz. Now we are currently at about 3 gigahertz. Now I think that kind of hit the limit where you can push a processor into running into the maximum speed. So what now they are doing is they are actually running multiple processors, because now even if you get a single processor, it has multiple cores basically mean multiple processors itself. So it can be a Core 2 Duo, then it came the dual core, then they confused you again saying Core 2 Duo, and then it came Core 2 Quad. So basically all this mean is you have multiple processors running simultaneously. So basically you have let's say you get a new third generation i3 processor.
i3 has 2.
So it has 2 cores. So basically if it's a 2.7 processor, you have 2.7 processors in it. So I think now in a computer, do we have to focus on a processor, or do we need to focus on something else?
I think it's a combination of everything, right?
Yeah.
So if you are willing to get a new laptop, you have to think about what you are going to do.
Yeah.
And what softwares you are going to use.
Yeah.
And how you are going to use it. These questions you have to answer.
Yeah, so I think when you're buying a laptop, I think laptops are the most selling computer devices right now, apart from a desktop. I mean, hardly people buy desktop nowadays, right?
Yes.
Unless you're specifically using it for something. So when you're buying a laptop, the numbers are not always giving you the right idea about what you're buying. So you can say it's a i7, again now this i3, i5 and i7, which is the newer processor that comes in computers. It's easier to understand, okay, i3 is the lowest one, then i5, then i7. But again now we get these generations, because now Intel is only developing little bit of their technology one step at a time. So now you get the first generation, you get the second generation, you get this third, so and you get now sixth generation, right? So when this generation, so let's say you have a laptop running a third generation Intel i3, even if you buy a new laptop which is a sixth generation i3, I don't think you will notice anything.
Yeah.
So in terms of, I mean like you shouldn't go with the hype when you're buying something, especially computers, because you get a lot of RAM in it, they'll say 2 terabytes of hard drive and all that. But nowadays the biggest bottleneck is the hard drive itself.
Yes.
So when you say a bottleneck, when you're buying a computer, what you expect is for it to be fast. For you to notice it to be faster, what happens is you need to have slower boot time. When you click on an application, how long it takes for it to load. And with all these processors coming in, you get your operating systems as well, right? Now we are not talking about Apple computers, but in general terms, even if you're buying Apple, still you get this Windows XP, then new Windows Vista came along, and then Windows 7, now Windows 8, and now like 10. Everyone is on 10. these operating system also consume a lot of resources as well. So you may have a computer running on say Windows 7 or so running pretty well, but if you install Windows 10 it might slow it down, right?
Yeah. So Windows, the operating system is always running in the background.
Yeah.
If you are using any application, then operating system is always in the background doing the work. Every other applications are running on top of it.
Yeah.
So you need to consider what your operating system needs.
Yeah.
Nowadays, at least, I think 4 GB RAM is like the minimum standard. So few years back 2 GB was enough.
Yeah.
Now you can't like survive with 4 even 2 GB. I don't think you can survive with 2 GB. At least 4 GB is the minimum RAM you need now.
So let's say, and again you have to think about what you are using a computer for. And operating system nowadays, even if you have a Windows 7 computer, what you're depending on the operating system is just to start up the application that you want to use. So operating system now it's a secondary thing that you need to worry about. So even if you have a Windows 7 computer, don't worry about it because that's been covered for a support for a very long time. And so that's what you need to check, right? When you're buying a computer, what you're going to use it for. So after the break, we'll talk about how to decide what computer you should buy.